I think I've always had this little edge to me for whatever reason. Maybe it's because I was a beer buyer in the day and I was a woman, but I was very acutely aware that I was not the norm. And I felt that every day when sales reps would come in and talk to me or something, they would go talk to the guys on my team before they would talk to me. And so I was very motivated to essentially take stock in who wasn't being given a voice in the beer community. My name's Guiver. I'm the senior team leader of merchandising over beer and spirits. I'm sitting in a beautiful spot in Seoul, South Korea. We wanted to partner with a really unique supplier that we've been working with for the last couple of years that makes a product called Makku. That's a Korean rice beer. At a high level, I manage kind of the strategy around trends and different consumers that are walking into our stores and things that we want to represent in our assortment. I started at Whole Foods almost 20 years ago at a produce office in California, where I'm from. So as a part-time team member, I started there behind the cheese counter and learned really quickly that there was a guy whose whole job was to be a beer buyer. And I was like, I'm a buyer. I've been a produce buyer this whole time. I know what that means. I know the metrics and how to be an assortment person. And I like beer. And I became a beer buyer in that store within a year or two. It was the top store in the region. I got really full of myself. It was during the whole craft beer boom. There was a lot of autonomy at the stores at the time, so you really learned how to curate an assortment for your customers and for your team, honestly. What's the cool new thing? And your whole job is to keep up on trends. We love being tip of the spear. We love being hyper-local. It's tricky to do that at a national level. It's tricky to do that when alcohol has a really unique set of regulations and challenges around distribution. My role really is to have that strategy and have that set list of goals we want to accomplish by category, and have my team go in and curate those brand relationships down to a local level. And we want to make sure that we have the things that we know our customers want, but also give us the space to adapt with the customer changing palette. We want to make sure that we're actually looking for like unique makers and stories in addition to the styles that we're bringing in. We've never seen a woman brewing hard seltzer in this part of the country. We've never seen a Nicaraguan craft lager. That's new. So maybe the style isn't new, but the maker is, or the location is. This is an era that we're living in that's never been more diverse. It's really important for us to represent that for our shoppers at large. That's just good business. Like, that's the right thing to do on a personal and human level and in like a business assortment planning way.
I'm on this awesome trip with the Whole Foods team. They have been probably our largest supporter in terms of a real partnership to build the brand. And so I'm so very thankful for that. And I think every time I've had doubts or consumers have doubts about us or even investors, even when we get into H Marts, they're like, okay, but that's just an H Mart. That's not America. But when we say, oh, Whole Foods carries us, then everyone is like, wow, that means you're accepted by Americans, and that's a stamp of approval in terms of quality, product quality. There is so much history and heritage and culture, and there is a real movement of people trying to share makgeolli with the world, because I think it's been very underrepresented, and I think that's really hard to share from just one perspective and really without witnessing it, and also just understanding the culture outside of makgeolli and what is Korean culture, and you know, what are the mannerisms and what are the food pairings, and how is drinking culture different. I think there's a larger understanding that sometimes you just have to be there.
I'll admit, I fell ass backwards into this, sorry. But you know, kind of dumb luck. It feels like sometimes, you know, to work with a team leader like Mary and to approach her and be like, hey, can I do this? Like, is this cool? Like, if I go to this like beer festival that celebrates Black brewers and Black arts, is that? And she's like, heck yeah, do it. Or, you know, or a trip like this. You know, I get it.
We actually say out loud on like our open door supplier calls that we have twice a year what we're looking for, and there's always something around BIPOC owned and BIPOC produced, women owned, women produced. We have 60 meeting slots for that time of the year. If we see that there's an Asian owned brand like Makku in the mix, we will bump them to the front of the line. I really love that I get to work for a company who doesn't try to rein me in. I'm not always the most diplomatic. I say it like it is a lot. I think I ruffle some feathers sometimes. Our jobs would not be what they are if it wasn't for our supplier partners wanting to share their stories with us and giving us the opportunity to be stewards of their stories and bring it to our customer base and kind of share it with the world as a retailer. It's really special. And I want to make sure that they know our team. They know how much we care. They know how long we've been here. They know that we worked in stores and we broke down our share of pallets and threw out our bags and like broke a lot of bottles and cleaned up glass and talked to a lot of customers for a very long time. And now we're here and we want to keep ushering the future of Whole Foods into the right place. Alcohol as a category in general, beer, wine, spirits, whatever, has never been stagnant. There's always things that are moving and shaking. And we're committed to making sure that the brands that are out there that represent a community, that don't see their products that they want to drink represented in a grocery store, they can tell us about that and we can fix it. We have a lot of blind spots, clearly. I feel like a lot of what I say every day, including this interview, is me being like, look at my blind spots. But my goal is to always fix them. If somebody can call me out on it or bring a product that actually is a manifestation of that, it's like, damn, I didn't even think about that. This is fascinating. Let's do some learning together and how can we make this better? It's so humbling to be exposed to something that you're not used to and embrace it and learn about it. Take the opportunity to better understand it instead of just kind of writing it off as a trend. We're in an era where the world has never been smaller in many ways. Like, everybody's connected all of the time, all at once. And the idea that we would shut out entire countries of culture that are out there kind of makes me sad and makes my stomach turn. We have this opportunity to integrate in a way and respect each other in a way that we've never had before. We just, forgiveness, I guess, out there for the generations that didn't know anything about anything because they never had exposure to it, but now you do.